What's up, my dudes? Okay, so somebody, hold on. Where's my line here? Hold on, I gotta set my line so I don't do stuff out of frame. Whee! This is the kind of stuff that most people don't show themselves doing, but I don't care, whatever. All right, so there has been some interest in my updated planner setup, which is exactly the same. But for those of you who are new, welcome. You are welcome to like and comment and subscribe, but I'm not going to try to force you because I don't make my living off YouTube, so you do you. But this is my Traveler's Notebook. This is the Camel Traveler's Notebook, and I treated it with, like, I had made a lip balm that was organic shea butter and beeswax and a couple of like essential oil and one or two other things, and I didn't like my Camel, so I was like, if I destroy it, I don't care, and if it comes out awesome, that's great. It came out awesome, so I just applied it, and then I used my heat gun to like soak it in, and yeah, it's wearing really well now. I had one of the Camels that was really on the lighter side, and I love this deeper, richer kind of, like, you know, creamy coffee brown. So yeah, anyway, let's get into it. Same far off pocket. I almost bought the mustard yellow one, but I was like, you need to stop it. So I did. I stopped. I'm spending a lot of money on diapers these days, so I have to be a lot more strategic about my stationery purchases and non-baby purchases in general. So I keep in here Traveler's sticky notes. I laminated a card to have a very slim line, and if you're new here, you may not know that for me, slim is the name of the game. Like, there are people out there who love their big, chunky, fat, like, how do you even carry that around sort of notebooks. Not for me. So I try to keep things as compact as I can. So my one book July is one book all year, whatever. In here, I'm still keeping the Hobonichi stencils. So I use mostly the to-do list on this one. Sometimes the speech bubble. I like the speech bubbles on these. And I don't use every shape all the time, but I like to have them just, you know, for a straight line, for a wavy line, and a couple of little shapes. So once upon a time, several months ago, this spot inside the 4-off was my long-term writing notebook for the Warfare trilogy. So I was working on a fantasy trilogy of novels, and there were some facts and like eye colors, location names, you know, facts I needed to remember. And I was going through, I don't know, a writing notebook a month. So I needed somewhere to keep the longer term notes. So that was what the long-term notebook was, and this is where it lived. I finished writing that trilogy like a week and a half before the baby was born, so way to go me. Seriously awesome job. And what's in here now are the letters that I'm writing to my daughter. So her name is Annabelle, so Letters to Annabelle. This is volume 2. And this is just, you know, a lot of the stuff in here is super personal, so I'm not going to show a lot of it. I have shared some pictures on Instagram, so I'll link that down below if you want to take a look. But this is just, you know, photos of us and notes on her days and how she's doing and how she's growing, and you know, in letter form to her. And I feel like I will always enjoy this, and maybe someday she will too, but I'm not just doing it for her, so I won't feel bad if she's like, Mom, I don't even care. Because one day, I may or may not be dead at that point. She's going to look at him and be like, Mommy, and that'll be a good day. Anyway, so this is the back of the 4-off in the zipper pouch, and in here I am keeping a pretty slim collection of things. I have a couple of the La Dolce Vita type girly stickers, a washi card that I just laminated laminate sheets without anything in them and wrapped washies around them. I'm almost done with some of these, so I'll have to replace them with new ones. This is the thing that came inside the folder, and I just keep it because it's cute. Sticky tabs, page markers, and then just a bunch of Oji-san stickers. Whoops. Sorry about that. And I love Oji-san, and if you've been around for any length of time, you will know that Oji-san is my main little fictional man. All right, hang on, I gotta fix this strappy thing. Behold, she is reborn. So anyway, I was using a monthly insert for the first half of the year, and I recently switched to a weekly vertical because, you know, with a baby there's a lot more appointments suddenly and a lot more to-do lists and a lot more things to keep track of. So I figured I had the weekly verticals, I might as well give them a try. And so far that's been going pretty well, but I use the Ojisan. I love the Ojisan stickers and how they look in the monthly. I haven't really come to terms, like, because I feel like I have to put more on the page with the weeklies. So I'm not using him as much there, only because he seems so small on those pages, but I'll figure it out, whatever, it's no big deal. So this is a writing notebook, and I used wrapping paper to wrap this particular volume from an order from Yamamoto Kamiten, and I'll link them down below, but they're a stationer's Etsy shop. I think it's an Etsy shop. Yeah, it's an Etsy shop located in Japan. They are super, super sweet. And this bag that my stuff came in was just so pretty. I was like, oh, there's just enough to wrap a notebook. I must do it. So I did. And I didn't even really, I mean, typically if you have seen my other writing notebooks, either here or on Instagram, I do a lot more decorating on the front typically, but this paper was so standout that I just didn't see the need. So I only have a couple of pages in here. I just moved to a new notebook, so not much going on in there. And then this is my weekly vertical. So the basic structure of my notebook is pretty much always the same. It's the cloth folder in the front with some kind of notebook in there. And this kind of notebook changes depending on what's going on in my life. And then in the back, it's always a calendar, and in the middle, it's always my notebook for writing, creative writing and ideas and stuff like that. And the reason I keep this in the middle is because I do, it's the easiest to switch out, because I keep everything on the single elastic. I only use the single elastic. So these two are elasticated together, and then this one just goes under the middle. And that's that. So this doesn't really have a whole lot in it because I just started using it a couple weeks ago, but so far so good. And that's it. So that is the setup of my traveler's notebook. It hasn't really changed in several years. The contents of that first notebook have changed, but other than that, the structure is exactly the same. So I'd love to know how you guys are doing with your notebooks. Are you still using the same thing? Are you totally changing it up? Are you using a bunch of things? And are you planning on trying anything new or keeping it the same for 2020? So I hope you guys have a great day and you enjoyed this little tour, and I'll see you again shortly.